Hi guys, it's Carcer back again with one more game of Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 on this fine Saturday. Um, so, this game I'm going to be facing off against the Eldar Corsairs, who are, well, can be the most problematic faction to play against as Orks sometimes. The double Void Stalker build can be a huge pain in the arse, just because of that enormous range that they've got. Though at least with the Void Stalkers they're a little bit slower, so you're more able to catch them. We'll see if we'll end up in a bit of a Void Stalker chase this match. I have gotten pretty lucky with the capture points though. Looks like the bulk of them are clustered sort of from the centre to the left hand side of the map. In fact, they all are. In fact, all 5 capture points are there on the left side of the map. With reasonably good cloud cover as well for me to duck into if need to break line of sight on the aforementioned long ass range of the Void Stalkers. Obviously, slightly changing up my fleet positioning when I play against the fast moving stealth fleets like the Corsairs and the Drukhari. So I will keep a few of my escorts with the line ships, just to provide, well, A, to protect them so they don't just get pounced on and murdered by the fast moving invisible enemy, but also to provide additional vision. I do have the beacon. I've changed up my kit slightly, so I've got the beacon with me instead of the stasis bubble that I usually like to take. And I do also have the fighter squadrons on my 2 cruisers there to help with vision. Although with Corsairs they've got some pretty decent fighters themselves, so they can usually block or kill my 4 squadrons of fighters. I mean, they can do that with a single Void Stalker. If indeed it is Void Stalkers that the enemy's taken, which I'm not quite sure yet. The enemy has seized a strategic area. We'll find out before long. So the enemy has launched a beacon down at me. I guess he thought I was maybe going to hang out in this gas cloud. But I do need to be moving up and capturing points. Those, and I'm just going to leave 3 escorts down in that. That was it. Yeah, no, I was talking about my positioning. So that's one thing I do like to do often is leave escorts hidden in a gas cloud when I'm playing against the stealth fleets. Oftentimes when they send something down to like backcap the points nearest to my deployment zone, they'll just maybe send like a single light cruiser or maybe a couple of escorts down there, kind of on their own and unprotected, thinking that they'll be safe because they can see the bulk of my fleet moving up on the other side of the map. And so it's nice to have a decent, you know, maybe 2 or 3 escorts sat in wait for something to start capping that point, and then they can just pounce on them and hopefully do some nasty damage. So I've got this, a couple of escorts on the left hand side there just capping points. Looks like that's 2 fighter craft coming down. Well, they don't have anything targeted for sure because they definitely haven't seen my 2 escorts, so they're just maybe they're sending them into that gas cloud. Which would be kind of strange if that was the case. Haven't given any reason to think that I would have anything hidden there.
You have seized a strategic area.
So they've captured 2 points themselves. Just keeping my ears open to try and hear the telltale boosts or sounds of fighters and bombers being launched. Try and figure out where exactly the enemy fleet is.
Move that junk.
So I mean, thus far all we've seen of them is the probe launch. There goes another probe.
Orks is best.
So okay, so I know now that his flagship is moved down and is roughly horizontally across from me over to the right hand side of the map. So my cruiser's right in front, so I would expect them to start taking fire first if the void... Oh, there he is. Speak of the devil. So launching a couple of fires, just going to try and get some vision off on him just to break his shroud hull. Looks like a bubble going down, which is probably the precursor to a... Christ, what's the Eldar, I can't remember the name of the Eldar vortex is.
Hit the red button.
Eldritch Storm, or... I'm not sure.
You have seized a strategic
The
area.
wrong game. You know the one, the big swirly thing, does shitloads of damage. Chunks down your ships quite nastily.
Orks is best.
So hopefully my probe is going to deploy, and when it does, that's hopefully going to spot the Void Stalker.
Faster, you
But I think
crocs.
he might have just gotten out of the way in time.
Hit the red button. Enemy ship sighted.
Hey! Excellent. Caught him just on the edge of it. Okay, that's great. So, spotted the Void Stalker. That's fantastic.
Move that junk.
See if now... I think normally his fighters would kill mine, but I think with the firepower of my point defense on the two cruisers, they should be able to take that fight. Okay, it looks like he's got what, a light cruiser, 2 escorts, and 2 cruisers over in that right hand group there. So unfortunately, my my escorts up in that top left hand point are not long for this world.
An escort ship went bang,
So
bang,
we know
bang.
that's where they are.
You got it.
So what I would quite like to chase down this Void Stalker. It'll probably take a while and it'll kind of put me in a bad position, but I think it's worth it just because that is absolutely the biggest threat on the enemy fleet. I mean, Corsair cruisers and light cruisers are not great. I mean, they've got, sure, they've got pulsars which can do quite nasty bit of damage, but they have to get so much closer to you in order to use those. Then you can usually counter them. You can spot them, pounce on them, use tractor cannon.
Full speed.
Whereas this motherfucker can shoot me from well outside the range of any of my decent weapons. With pulsars, with las cannons, not to mention his deadly ordnance. Those bombers are no joke.
Enemy ship sight.
So, the group has just jumped on the 2 escorts. I've hidden this gas cloud, so I'm just going to do a couple of rounds, which should take care of both of those escorts. I think they've popped the way to shift as well, so they are fuckered. So they go down, and then the 2 those 2 escorts are now going to go after this light cruiser. And I think they should actually be able to take him out.
The enemy has accumulated 25%.
I was hoping to head off the
enemy is seizing one of
enemy
your
Void
strategic
Stalker,
areas.
but it looks like he's managed to get around. He's just so much faster. Now he thinks he's going to go and re-stealth himself in the bottom gas cloud there, but little does he know I've got 3 escorts stashed there waiting
The
for him.
enemy has seized a strategic area.
Or no, 2 escorts even. So just immediately pop the
Reloading.
scanner just to make sure he stays spotted.
Faster, you crocs.
I think at this point he's used all of his bubbles. Oh no, he'll get 4 charges, won't he, for the 4 charges for the battleship size. Right, so that's fine. He wasted his Wraithbone there, and that will allow me to send his escorts up his arse. I will take a bit of damage, but I'll take some pretty nice crits off him. Hoping for some crits. Move that one out of the way, and then we can just continue the butt plug relay. Yeah, lovely. 2 fires that time as well. Fantastic. Didn't even take that much damage on my escorts, really.
You got it.
Right, and I'll continue pursuing with my battleships for now. But yeah, no, he's away again. Okay, no, right. So that now should be his final stasis level. Meanwhile, my cruisers are doing not much of anything, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna send them up to engage the 2 enemy cruisers and light cruiser, rather than just letting them take all those points. So enemy flagship is now down to a couple of bars of health. So I would love to stay on him, but it looks like he's about to re-stealth in that gas cloud, unless... Oh no, I've got a scatter pulse available, so he will re-stealth, but
Move that junk.
should be able to reveal him again. Yep, because he's turned around to fire, so I'll just scan off before he manages to murder that escort.
You ain't a boss of me. Fire bombers, begin dagger. You got it, boss. You got it.
Not sure what happened there. That right-hand cruiser seemed to, even though it was sat stationary in the gas cloud, had full holofields active. I don't know if that was just a graphical glitch or
The
what happened
enemy
there.
has accumulated 50% of strategic points.
So the Voidstalkers led us in the Mary Chaser on half the map. We've now fallen quite far behind. We're not really going to be able to get any closer to him unless we go on to reload, but we're not going to be able to hit him with any of our weapons unless we're on lock-on. So it's a bit of a tricky situation.
What do you want?
So I managed to avoid all the damage from the Elder Torpedoes there, thankfully, because they're quite nasty.
You got it.
So I'm thinking now it's probably going to be time to start splitting up soon. The battleships, that is. I mean, I've already split my fleet in 2 to try and deal with these cruisers and light cruisers.
Move that junk.
And yeah, these odds are about to get pretty bad for my cruisers actually. I've just had a mutiny on one of them, and the Voidstalker is actually getting within firing range very soon, if he's not there already.
Yeah? Faster, you grots.
So there's that deadly Eldar ordnance that I mentioned before. So I reckon, yeah, my cruiser's probably going to be in for it a bit. So yeah, now's the time when I start splitting up my battleships. I just noticed I'm quite far behind in points. I'm on about 1100 to his 1600, so I need to start getting some of these circles painted blue. I do currently hold 2, but I suspect that top left one is not going to stay mine for much longer. So I think, yep, is that both? Yeah, one of the cruisers is dead, another one. The other one's also dead. No morale hit on my battleships for some reason, so that's cool. I am capping the point down the bottom right there, but
You got it, boss.
the enemy cruisers are heading that way. Voidstalker has given up his cloak. He just cloaked himself in the Astrofield, I think, but no, Astrofield, the gas cloud. But now obviously he's moved that by decapping the top point there. So I'm considering sending the whole fleet after him.
The enemy has seized a strategic area. You have seized a strategic
But then I feel like
area.
I'm just going to get caught into one of those drawn out
The
chases
enemy
again.
is seizing one of your strategic
So annoying.
areas.
He's
The
hardly got
enemy
any
has
health left.
accumulated
But
75% of strategic points.
yeah, still tricky to catch.
Full
So this has been a
speed.
bit of a weird one. It's good
The
though. It's good.
enemy has
We're playing the
seized a
points.
strategic
I
area.
mean,
You have
it's not often that I get into a game where actually playing the points is really how you've got to play it to win it. As Orks, usually just, you get into a big fucking schmoz somewhere in the map. Either that or just a direct chase where you're just picking out the enemy's arse while you're chasing them about the place. So yeah, this is kind of different.
Here we go.
I am glad it's not a double Void Stalker as well, because that's just so annoying to deal with. So speaking of Void Stalkers, he has re-stealth. Now I am going to completely split up my fleet now. I'm going to send a battleship into each of the 2 top points there, which will give me 4. And the bottommost point remains uncaptured at the moment, so it looks like he's going for it. I was hoping to get a tractor ram off there. It's always good. It's great. A tractor ram. If you can get a tractor ram off between 2 enemy ships, while, like Corsair ships, while they're doing the Wraithbone shift, if you catch the front one and then drag it back into the other one while it's still shifting, you can do massive damage. Plus, it'll drag them closer to your guns. Plus, it'll usually spin them round so they're facing the wrong direction that they want to be in. So it can be very, very effective. Okay, so my one battleship has captured the top right point. The Void Stalker is engaging me from range up in the top left. But I know he's not going to want to have any kind of stand-up fight because he's on such low health. Looks like the light cruiser is up there with him. So I'm just able to stealth up my battleship in the asteroid field there. Enemy is going down to try and re-stealth his 2 cruisers in the gas cloud at the bottom, but I believe I've actually stuck them with a beacon. So I don't think he's noticed that. Okay, the Void Stalker is doing a runner. Bit of play. So it's going to fire off a boarding action onto this light cruiser, who is about to, well, he was just about to drop a cruise step there before he re-stealthed again, so he's going to be on low health now. Yep, I do indeed have a beacon stuck on one of those cruisers. So, well, first things first, I just want to try and capture this last point, because I'm still about 400 points behind, well, 350 points behind.
You have seized a strategic area.
It is very much in the danger area where if he's able to kill off a couple of battleships somehow, then I could just leapfrog him to the victory.
What do you want? Yeah. Move that junk.
So the top battleship, I'm just going to sit him at the very edge of the gas cloud, facing that top right point. So if the enemy does decide to send his Void Stalker and try and go for a cheeky capture, I'm just going to be able to red button him, slap bang at the side of him, which is quite nice. Although it looks like the Void Stalker is actually making his way down, and he's probably going to go for a capture on the far left-hand point, about halfway up the map. So my flagship has captured the bottom right point. I'm now going to send him over into the asteroid field to stealth up. Looks like the enemy cruisers are going to try and go after him. So I'll just boost him on over there.
Here we go.
And then he'll re-stealth as soon as he gets stopped in that asteroid cloud.
You got it.
Just prevent any bombers or
Orks.
pulsars from coming his way. So the my middle battleship, I was floating him around the centre point there. I was hoping to catch out the Void Stalker, who seems to be moving down the left-hand side. So I'm thinking if he goes for any of the centre capture points, I'll be able to pounce on him. If he goes for that far left-hand capture point, I'll be able to pounce on him as well.
You are close to victory by strategic points.
Okay, so
Here we go.
yeah, the 2 enemy cruisers, how they thought better of it. So yeah, that was kind of a strange one. Although I had the battleship stationary. For some reason, when he was facing back the way, he was within the asteroid belt, but then when he turned around, he was not. He's like, I don't know what happened there. It seemed like that ship just went straight through the other one. But yeah, that's I was trying to get off that. That's like the ideal scenario. Tractor ram where you get 2 Corsair ships boosting one behind the other in the same direction. But yeah, the lead one seemed to phase straight through the other ship, so that's a bit of a pest. Must have a smaller hitbox, and I realised his wings obviously don't count for anything. And yep, there's the win. So that was a bit of a slog, but we got there in the end. So it's yes, it is possible to outmaneuver Corsairs as Orks if the points aren't all over the map. Alright, cheers for that guys, I'll see you in the next one.